Is news eating up your life? Is news bad or good? All right, welcome back to the show. Let's talk about local news, national news, and what has happened to our news stations over the last, let's say a couple of years, right? News stations, local, is usually like, it opens up with bad, 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 weather, sports, maybe something nice, and then they're off for the air, right? And it's all about catching their attention. And national news is, I think, bad, 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 almost never good, right? And so you got to take a look at news, and is it worthwhile to watch and read the news, right? And I think you have to be informed as an individual, but there's always this old saying, and this is a pretty old saying, if the shoe shine guy knows about it, then maybe you should know about it, right? Now, we don't have shoe shine guys now, but if someone in your field or influence says something, maybe it's worthwhile for you to do some research on it. But honestly, I think news is incredibly toxic. Unfortunately, a lot of times a big waste of time, and I think you go down a rabbit hole that's really rough. Now, I'm not saying not to be informed, but I have to say news these days are very partisan, very, at least nationally. Locally, not so much, but the local news is usually pretty just really sad stuff, right? And so if you can, next time you watch the news and watch the local news, the next like 5 times, look at that and see what the message is. Is this worthwhile? I mean, there's a lot of times, like if your kids are in the house, you don't want the news on in the background. I don't think there's anything benefiting to that. So here you have the kids hear anything that's bad going out the road. Again, not sticking your head in the sand, but at the same point in time is just hitting the really high points. What are things that are important to you? So in regards to the national news, between Facebook, Google, Fox News, CNN, NBC, all these news stations, man, are they partial. They have their agenda, and the upper people have their agenda and have pushed that narrative out over the last couple of years. And it's honestly sickening. I mean, back in the day when you had like Walter Cronkite, or whatever his freaking name is. Anyways, and they would do like real investigative journalism, and they would talk about things, and they would show the facts. Man, everything this day is like anonymous source, or this person here, or this is my opinion here. And there's nothing to back them up. Let it be CNN, or let it be Fox News, or let it be Trump, and let it be Giuliani, or whoever it might be. And they never give you the facts. They never give you the paperwork, right? Or they say, lock Hillary up, or they say, we'll release all this information, we'll declassify this information, and nothing ever gets done, right? We never physically see any of this information. Or when they do things and they claim something, you don't see anything at the end of the day. It's incredibly frustrating for me, who loves information, soaks up information, loves iPods and loves YouTube videos and things to help educate yourself. I encourage you to watch stuff that's going to educate you, make you a better person. Let's say you have a craft or a hobby or whatever. Learn that and get in that information. And if something's major going to happen in the world, trust me, someone will tell you about it, right? Rather than get stuck into the news and just wasted 30 minutes or an hour of your life on something that's ridiculous. Maybe I'll give you the ridiculous news. You may never know. I'm not the smartest tool in the shed, but at the same point in time I think I have some pretty good street sense and common sense on a lot of things. Some of my things that I wrote down here is, why is it always bad? Or most of the time bad. What do you notice, or what have you noticed in the news that sort of throws you off a little bit, that you think seems a little bit extreme? Do you find yourself watching the news too much and going down a rabbit hole? That was another question I had. One thing I always tell people, do not always believe what you read or what you see on the news, right? Just because it's in print or just because you hear it from someone doesn't mean it's the truth. That's just their opinion, and unless you see true facts, don't believe what you see. What my next thing was, where is the true facts on stuff? Anonymous sources drives me literally crazy, because I think if there's something there, unless it's a job jeopardizing thing, or there's points in time where the press has to protect their sources, right? But at the same point in time is, man, when was the last time you saw like someone just blatantly come out and say, hey, here's the proof, right? Here it is, right here. You never see it. So the only purpose of this video is honestly just to say is, sort of check and see, where you're putting your time. That time could be spent better with your family, learning something that's fun, going out and enjoying nature, going for a hike, going out with your friends, COVID protected, all that type of stuff. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Give me your 2 cents on this. I know there's a bunch of opinions, both on all sides of this whole arena. So be nice to each other. But at the same point in time, I'd love to see what you guys think about this. All right, enjoy the show. Thank you.